Konnichiwa and welcome back to Reviews and another Dino Rivals dinosaur from Mattel and Jurassic World, and this time it's the Mega Dual Attack Suchomimus. And this one was actually from the start one that I was planning to pass on due to I wanted to get the standard action attack blue Suchomimus because I preferred the look and the nod to the original artwork from Jurassic World of them being blue. And I might still get that one, although it might take a little longer. But this one I actually, the usual thing. I see it in real life and I think it's a lot better than I thought it looked on the previews, and I fell for it and buy it. And this is just like with the Metriacanthosaurus when it came out. This one was a lot less yellow in real life and more sand color, and that made me love it. So I might actually buy and build a pack of Suchomimuses with the blue one as well, because I really want the blue one. I still want the blue one. And this one is a retool from the blue one, because the blue one only have a biting action from the standard action attack, but this one have the dual attack actions as well, which you can see up here what it can do. So I go ahead and say it right away. Just like the Concavinator, this one is of the first wave and it suffers from a tail attack on a carnivore when it could have had slashing action, especially considering that the Suchomimus have big claws. But the packaging, it looks gorgeous just like the others, and so does the paint job from a first glance. And Mega Dual Attack is, as I said before, the biggest out of them, well, except for the real big ones like the T-Rexes. And it is Dino Rivals. There's a nice logo in the back. And yeah, on the side it says Dino Rivals. And on the back you can see the different things it can do, like biting and tail swiping. And there's a stat card just like the other Dino Rivals. And you can see the Suchomimus down there too, but also the retooled Stegosaurus. And you can also scan the Jurassic Facts app scan code. And there it is, the Suchomimus opened up from the package. And before going into details with this one, I'm going to go the usual route with the scan code and the card. So the card is a new part of the review, because the Dino Rivals always seem to include those. There you go, the Suchomimus with a nice little simple artwork and some stats. And this one has quite a lot of strength, but a lot less agility and brains. And a little bit more hit points, so to say. As usual, quite simple. Could wish for more, but still a nice little extra collectible. And here we have the scan code for the yellow Suchomimus. There we go. So let's go straight into the articulation. The arms are ball jointed and the legs click into different poses. But you can have it stay in between as well, of course. And they also go out and in a little bit. And you can turn the feet. I think you can. At least this foot can be turned. I don't dare to. Because actually it falls over quite easy. So you might want to spread one of the feet out slightly to balance it a little bit better. And the tail are an action feature, so it's not poseable, and the same goes with the head. So let's start off with the tail whip. It works okay. I would say it works okay, but you have to press quite hard. It's a little bit more dynamic than the Concavinator because it have two joints. The Concavinator only had one joint. But it still seemed to be a bit hard to press down. You have to like get in a little bit of momentum to get it to work. It could be smoother, but it works. But my favorite part is actually this, the biting action, because it actually goes down and then bites. First goes down, then bites. And it goes... It's like it slows down slightly. But I think it's quite dynamic. It needs like... It sounds like it needs some oil in here. Yeah, but it works nicely. I like this biting action. And as far as the paint job goes, I actually love that it's darker around the eyes. And the eyes are orange with a little bit of metallic tint to them. I really like this. And it's heavy, it's hard to see in the camera, but it's a slightly slime green, is that even a word? Slime green tint to the sand beige-ish yellow, which is quite nice. It's slight, very slight, but it looks more orangey in the camera. And these dark brown patterns, it mix up really nicely with this. It looks like it should be Suchomimus living around oasis habitats in the desert. And I really like the different look to this compared to the other one. So they will look great together, I think, because they complement each other very nicely. And the foot claws are painted, but not the finger claws. I think they should have continued. They had a good thing going there with the Spino being painted here, but they have not done that on anything, not even in Dominus Rex as far as I've seen. And there's also some paint splatter of black here on that claw and there. They could just have as well painted this claw instead of splattering paint there. I don't even know why it's there. And the tongue is nicely shiny and pink. So except for the paint splatter there and the unpainted claws, the paint job are actually very neat. Maybe they could have had a slightly brighter underbelly, but that can be lived without. It still looks really neat. So let's do a little comparison here, because this is, the Suchomimus is the middle-sized Spinosaurid dinosaur. The middle-sized one. So let's put the Suchomimus here and put the focus on the Sucho and bring in its smaller cousin, which is the Baryonyx. So the Suchomimus is larger than the Baryonyx because it's the action attack sized one, the same as this. The contours size up pretty well with the Suchomimus. So the blue Suchomimus would be the same size. It's a retooled version of the same skin, or like the same mold. And then bring in the father of every Spinosaurid dinosaur, the Spinosaurus itself, which is very, very much larger. But that's to be expected of the big boy itself, or the big girl. I'm not even sure which gender it is. But the Spinosaurus is the biggest, Suchomimus in the middle, and the Baryonyx is the smallest. And then there we have the human sizing Owen and Alan Grant from Kenner. And it's very hard to tell, but I think those three sizes nice together, those three dinosaurs. So everything depends on how big the Baryonyx really is in real life, if it's closer to Grant or closer to Owen. But from the movie perspective, this Baryonyx is quite good size to Owen. And here we have blue. Yes, I guess it's tradition to keep blue in the comparison. And we have the Concavinator, which is the standard dual attack line, and this is the mega dual attack line. But the Concavinator scales better with this one. So let's get those out of the way again. And put the Suchomimus back. I need to turn this foot a little bit, and it's a little bit tricky to get it to stand properly. There we go. So, to conclude the Suchomimus, from the start I wasn't even sure I wanted a Suchomimus because the preview pictures on the blue one looked horribly bright and it looked like a fish Pokemon, but it grew on me after I saw pictures from people that the blue wasn't that strong in real life, just like with the Metriacanthosaurus, because it looked quite bright yellow in the previews, but it looks sand color in the actual figure, and that made me love it. The same one happened to this. So from not wanting any of the Suchomimuses into wanting the blue one, and now when I saw this in store in Germany, I had to buy it because I really liked it. So in the end I will be getting all Suchomimuses. But I like Suchomimuses and Spinosaurid dinosaurs, so I don't mind. To conclude the figure itself, the paint job is nice except for minor mistakes and lack of paint on the claws. The action feature is nice, I love the biting action, but I wish that they replaced the tail action with slashing action, especially considering that Suchomimuses, just like any Spinosaur dinosaur, have huge claws, so it would be a signature move to use the claws for attack. So that's my only gripes with this figure. Other than that, the paint job is smooth and nice, the color choice is nice as well, and I really like it. And if you want to get this one or the blue one, it's totally up to you and preference. Personally, I'll get both because it's nice to build packs, but it's up to preference. So I hope you enjoyed this review and found it at least a little bit helpful. So until next time, take care and sayonara!